Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. UFC 267 is almost here, and I'm so excited for this main card. And at least in the United States, this card is going to be free. I think it's also going to be free in the majority of the rest of the world, but I'm not sure. Depending on where you're at, you may have to pay for it. But this card is just stacked from top to bottom. And I've already done a couple prediction videos. The ones I've already done, I will put the links to those in the description if you want to check them out after this video. But make sure you subscribe and make sure you turn on notifications, and I'm going to be putting out a bunch more UFC 267 content. Now, this video is going to be my full breakdown and prediction for Alexander Volkov versus Marcin Tybura, a very important heavyweight fight. And if you look at the tail of the tape, currently Alexander Volkov is ranked number 5, and Tybura is currently ranked number 9 in the official UFC rankings. Volkov is 33 years old, Tybura is 35 years old. Volkov is 6'7", while Tybura is 6'3". Volkov has an 81-inch reach, while Tybura has a 78-inch reach. And for the vast height difference, Volkov is so much taller than Tybura. I thought he would have a much larger reach advantage, but it's only a 3-inch reach advantage. So first off, let's talk about Alexander Volkov. His last fight was a loss against Cyril Gane, June of this year. He lost by decision. It was a main event. Cyril Gane went on to then beat Derek Lewis for the interim heavyweight title that shouldn't even exist. But Cyril Gane in that fight won the fight fairly dominantly. But I feel like the narrative from the commentary and the fans after the fight did not do the fight justice. I mean, Volkov was very competitive in that fight. He chewed up Gane's inside leg. He landed some really good body kicks, and he really held his own in the fight. It was still fairly dominant by Cyril Gane, but it's not like it was a world-class beating where he outclassed Volkov for the entire fight. Volkov had his moments. I know he got bloodied up, but he had his moments in that fight, and he deserved to be in there with a guy like Cyril Gane. Now, before that fight, he beat Alistair Overeem. I know Alistair Overeem's no longer with the UFC, but it was a good win. It was a TKO in the second round. Alistair Overeem has a glass jaw. I did not expect Overeem to win that fight. I picked Volkov. I just thought he would find that chin and put him down, and that's exactly what he did. Before that, he beat Walt Harris. He landed a body kick, TKO'd him in the second round. Great win. Before that, he lost to Curtis Blades. That was a main event. It went 5 rounds. Curtis Blades just took him down and kind of ground and pound him and laid on him for the entire fight. Before that, he beat Greg Hardy, and before that, he had a loss to Derek Lewis. That's the famous on the famous Khabib Conor card where Derek Lewis got beat up for 2.5 rounds or 2 3/4 rounds, and Derek Lewis lands a big right hand and sleeps Volkov at the end of the fight. Before that, he has a win over Fabricio Werdum, a win over Stefan Struve, a win over Roy Nelson, and a win over Tim Johnson, who's doing things in Bellator right now. I don't know how much you want to take off that win, but his losses aren't bad losses to have. Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, and Cyril Gane. And again, the Derek Lewis fight, he was winning the majority of the fight until he got slept, which seems like that's every Derek Lewis fight. But Alexander Volkov, I feel like he doesn't get enough respect. And in the Derek Lewis fight, I think it was a cardio issue. And I really believe that Volkov has addressed it since then. He hasn't evolved much since then, but his cardio has gotten better. Even in the Curtis Blades fight, he had decent cardio, even though he's being grappled the whole fight. Cyril Gane fight went all 5 rounds. He had decent cardio in that 5th round. I think I might have even thought he won the 5th round, but I don't remember for sure. But Volkov has just, been the same guy. He's a very good striker. He doesn't have crazy power. He uses body kicks. He uses inside leg kicks. And he's just an overall, stand-up fighter. He's looking to keep the fight on the feet. He's looking to chop the legs. And he's really looking to kind of pick you apart and eventually find the finishing blow or win the decision. Now, if you look at Marcin Tybura, he's coming in on a 5-fight win streak. But when you say 5-fight win streak, you got to look at who he's fighting. Walt Harris, he finished Walt Harris by TKO at the end of the first round. Before that, Greg Hardy. Before that, Ben Rothwell. Before that, Maxim Grisham. And before that, Sergius Spivak. Now, that's not the greatest 5-fight win streak to have at all. And in the Walt Harris fight, he almost got finished early on in that fight. The Greg Hardy fight was a decent win. Ben Rothwell, decision. Now, I want to get to the losses. He lost to Augusto Sakai by KO, and he lost to Shamil by TKO. Now, those were back in 2019. Those were back-to-back losses he got finished in. And then he went on this 5-fight win streak. So if you look at Marcin Tybura's, 5-fight win streak, it's really not that great. And in the Walt Harris fight particularly, I'm not very high on Walt Harris, and Walt Harris almost finished him. And this is a common theme for Walt Harris. It seems like he almost finishes a guy. he gets gassed out, and then he gets finished himself. And, that's just what happened in the fight. Marcin Tybura showed some decent grappling. He took him down. He ground and pound him. I think it was a TKO via ground and pound at the end of the first round. But Walt Harris just could not get up. And in this fight, I really think Marcin Tybura is going to go out there and try to take Alexander Volkov down and hold him down and beat him up. He's seen the success that Curtis Blades had, but I just really don't think Marcin Tybura is going to have that type of success against Alexander Volkov. He's too lengthy, he's too long, he has decent defensive grappling. I mean, Curtis Blades is a great wrestler, and he was able, even Volkov was able to stuff some of the takedowns that Cyril Gane attempted on him. So I really just don't think Marcin Tybura is going to be able to walk forward and take Alexander Volkov down. And, Volkov has his cardio issues, but again, he's been 5 rounds multiple times, has looked decent in those 5 round fights, and this is only a 3 round fight. So I really think, Volkov is the better striker. I think he's going to be able to keep the fight standing. And my official prediction is going to be Alexander Volkov by second round TKO. And I just really think Marcin Tybura is going to try to push the pace. I think he's going to try to clinch up with Volkov. I think he's going to try to take him down. And it's just not going to work. Volkov has very, very good striking. He uses the jab. He has great punches. He has great kicks. He beats up the legs. He beats up the body. And I could really see Tybura kind of pressing in, getting hit with a huge body kick, probably fold it down, and then Volkov ground and pound him for the finish. And I just don't see a way that Tybura can be competitive in this fight. And I know Volkov has had his chin issues, the Derek Lewis fight, the Augusto Sakai fight, but I just don't know if Marcin Tybura has that game-changing power. And I know most heavyweights do, but I don't think Volkov has such a bad chin that, it's not like Alistair Overeem where every punch he gets touched by, it looks like he's about to get slept out cold. So I think Volkov will be able to keep the distance. He'll be able to use that 3-inch reach advantage. I wonder what the reach advantage is as far as, the legs, because I could see Volkov using that TP kick to the body to, negate the pressure of Marcin Tybura, because Marcin Tybura is going to have to come out and try to pressure Alexander Volkov. And Volkov's not going to let that happen. He has a high fight IQ. He's going to be beating up the legs. He has great leg kicks. He does not get enough credit for what he did in that Gane fight. He beat up Gane's inside lead leg. It was a great, repetitive, inside, hard, pounding leg kick. And he uses those in a lot of his fights. And he has great combinations. He's not a guy that's throwing one punch, combinations. He's throwing multiple punch combinations. And he has an arsenal attack where he varies, from kicking to the legs, kicking to the body, using punches up top. He doesn't try to get clinched too much. He doesn't try to take guys down too much. He likes to keep the fight standing. And I think if this fight remains standing, I give Marcin Tybura a very small chance of winning this fight. I mean, he has to just clip him on the chin, the right spot, put Volkov down, put him to sleep, or TKO him. And I just don't think that's very likely. I think Volkov is just better everywhere on the feet. I think he will negate the pressure, and I just don't see how Marcin Tybura can have any success. I just think Volkov, this fight and this matchup is really tailor-made for him to get back on the winning track. And I really do believe that Volkov is an elite heavyweight. There's not very many of them. We have very few elite heavyweights. We got Ngannou, Stipe, Cyril Gane, and Alexander Volkov, and maybe there's one or two I'm missing, Curtis Blades. And Volkov really does belong in that discussion. And even though I think he's 33 years old, it's, that's not really old for a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights have more longevity and supposedly hit their prime later on in their life rather than smaller, slow, lighter weight classes who are faster. The heavyweights are kind of slower. They don't rely on speed as much. They rely on power and technical ability a little bit more rather than speed. And I think Volkov can still be in that discussion. I think he can outclass Marcin Tybura and just show that there's levels to this. People say that all the time. And I just really think, we're going to look at this fight and Marcin Tybura is going to seem like, he really didn't belong in there with Alexander Volkov. I think Alexander Volkov is levels ahead of Marcin Tybura. And I think teep kicks to the body, leg kicks, use the punches, set up the punches with some of the teep kicks to the body and the inside leg kicks. Marcin Tybura is going to be worried about the body kicks and then maybe drop his hands a little bit. And eventually Volkov is going to find that power shot right on the chin, use that 3-inch reach advantage, clip him, put him down, and finish him. Because Volkov doesn't have that touch of death power, but he can have some of that accumulation type finishes. and I think that's what will happen in this fight. Marcin Tybura's got to close the distance if he wants to win this fight. And I think if Marcin Tybura wins this fight, he's going to have to put Volkov to sleep. I don't see any other way of him winning it. I do not see him being able to take Volkov down for 3 rounds and control him on the ground for 3 rounds. I just don't think that's possible for Marcin Tybura. I think he has to get him out of there early, throw heavy punches in that first round, and hope to clip Alexander Volkov. But I just don't think that's going to happen. And that's why I'm going with Alexander Volkov, second round TKO. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you guys enjoy these prediction videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.